Oh, hey, how's it? So I got this interesting one, and it was really hard to get it down from the palm, let alone the fact that obviously the birds have wrecked on these things terribly, beaten us to them. But this is called peach palm, and this is one of the varieties of peach palm that does not have very spiky base or trunk to them. Some of them are very spiky and some are smooth. Now, I've only had these once before, and unfortunately I killed the seeds inside because I cooked them whole. But these things come out very much like cornmeal. And yeah, see, I'm kind of splitting them in half so I can save the seed this time, and maybe I'll have a chance of growing them here. But if you're going to grow a palm, this one's really pretty cool if you can keep the birds from eating these things, because it is so much like cornmeal that, you know, with no, well, we get GMO corn over here, but it's not very good stuff. But nothing I'd want to trust to eat, honestly. But anyway, pretty trippy palm nut. I'll look up the botanical and list it on here. And I'm going to give these things a nice little cooking, and then maybe I'll get back to telling you or guaranteeing that they taste like cornmeal, in case I was mistaken the first time. Anyway. I probably had these going for maybe 40 minutes or an hour. They're looking pretty bruised through. Yeah, forks going into them. You know, these maybe could have been riper, but as you see, the birds or critters will not permit that. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull these. I think a good chance that that's fine. Alright, anyway. So, yeah, I'm going to pull these and we'll check them out in a moment here when they cool down. Alright, those things are nice and cooked up and cooled down. And, oh, yep, they're very crumbly. It's not exactly soft, but let's see if I can do this one-handed. Oh my god. Yep. Almost like corn masa. Yeah, very similar to masa, but almost more with like a pumpkin-y sweet potato kind of grain. Yeah, I'm trying to search for any other flavors, but really the main back flavor is corn. Tastes like corn, kind of like a dry corn masa. Matter of fact, I'll bet you could probably beat this up with a fork, get the skin off, and maybe even mix it with masa. I think Moby's checking it out. She likes the idea. What do you think, huh? Would you eat that? Yep. No? She's gonna go bury it or check it out. She's not sure. She kind of likes it. Yeah, look at that. Even Moby likes it. No wonder the critters like this stuff. They can tell it's food. So there you go. Your peach palm is pretty much your corn alternative in the tropics. Oh yeah, you can make a corn soup from this really easily. Yeah, make a good corn soup. No, look at that. You like that, huh? Oh, shoot. And then right there you could feed your pets or your chickens with it too. Anyway, yeah, if you get a chance to grow peach palm, especially if it's not the spiky kind, give it a shot. You're just going to have a hard time keeping the birds and maybe rats and parakeets and other crap like that off of them. Okay, check that out. I got a pat of butter on my spoon right there, but I just scooped out maybe 4 of those peach palms, and look at that crumble. Look at that incredible stuff. It just crumbles right out. Mommy's eating all the husks off of it. She loves it. I just added a little salt, a little butter, and this would absolutely make an incredible corn chowder. Like corn chowder all the way, no problem. Now look at that crumble. And I'm almost positive you can mix this with something like a masa and get it to stick together. Not sure, haven't tried it yet, but very corn-like, comes out as a crumble. Good food. This is a good food. Mommy's waiting for more. Okay, one more little bit on this. as we were enjoying this, I noticed, at first I thought it was maybe really starchy, you know, because it's very, even the wounds where the birds ate it had kind of dried with a white powdery look. But when I boiled it, though, it did not starch out. Like there was no gooiness to the water at all. But this is so silky smooth. Like you see how it's like, it just pushes around in the hand like that. So I have a funny feeling if you dried this out totally and then macerated it into a flour and sifted all the crumbs out, and there's a little bit of stringiness in there I noticed too, some little strands and strings, but I'll bet you could do this as an adjunct flour with wheat flour and incorporate it into breads or cereal, like a cereal grain. But yeah, look at that. It almost reminds me of egg fruit a little bit. Interesting though, very neat stuff, very neat. I can't wait to learn more about this and work with it more. Excellent product. All right, so we are going to try a little corn chowder out of this. So I just got some onion, celery, garlic, peppers. I got some carrot, but it slipped my mind. I can use a little bit of olive oil, or not olive, coconut oil. And we'll fry this up. Add our coconut milk we just made, and then our peach palm. Not this stuff, of course, but the good stuff that I ground last night, the nice stuff. And we'll do a little fresh ground black pepper. Some black pepper I harvested and dried. Yep. Macerate this up and add it. Alright, that's nice and brown. Pepper's browned. There we go. And add that coconut milk we just made. Oh, and then we'll go and add our peach palm here. Kind of hard to do one-handed, so bear with me. There. Oh, it makes sense, doesn't it? Try and get the last of that right there. Now, the internet said this stuff is pretty starchy, or has a high starch content, and we're going to see here with this all broke down, is this going to thicken up like a roux when this starts to boil. And that's really going to tell us the truth right there. I did not feel like the boil water had very much thickness to it, but maybe it just needs to be all mushed up like this. Look at that, orange already, becoming yellow orange. Beautiful. And then we'll use a little shot of Bragg's as our vegetarian stock base, because Bragg's is pretty much just that. It's kind of like a vegetarian au jus, and you use it in this way. Just don't overdo it. You don't want to dominate it in flavor. But anyway, we did read on our Wikipedia that there is an oxalate crystal content to this, which we did feel a little burn after we nibbled those bits last night. So they talked about pressure cooking them, or cooking them even for up to 5 hours. But of course I couldn't really find info on the spineless variety. It was all on the very heavily spined, most commonly used variety. And so you do have to cook the oxalate crystals out of this, or it's going to burn your mouth like eating hot taro. And that's also not good for, you know, your kidneys and other parts of your body. Most of all, it's just not as pleasant to eat. And we didn't feel like a heavy burn, but it was there. It was a light little hotness. And so drying seemed to destroy crystals, they said. They did speak about making a flour from it and using it as an adjunct flour. So we're going to see how well this thickens up here. Look at that, it's already starting to boil. But if there's a high enough starch content, it said high starch, high fiber. The fiber part, no doubt, I believe that. But the starch here we'll see in a second, because if that starts to set and get thick as this boils, then you know it's on. Let's see. Yeah, like a corn chowder. If you want to put some whitefish or clams in there, it'd be delicious. Alright, we'll get back to this in a second if it actually thickens up. Alright, so at first I was really questioning how much starch could be in here, because when it started to boil it really did not react like a starch. But as you can see, this has gotten nice and thick, but more like how a roux would thicken, where it seems like after a while the peach palm, almost flour you could say, has maybe swelled up and absorbed some of that, and along with, oh, it looks like maybe like a 1/4 inch reduction there. It's brought it down to where I think when this cools down it's really going to be quite a thick soup. And I even got a slurry ready, but I'm not going to use it because I don't think I need to. I think this is just about done. And I chopped up a little tarragon and parsley and rosemary to throw in to finish. And I think this is going to be a pleasant little chowder. And I'll tell you right off the bat, I'm thinking clam or fish in this would be awesome. But currently, in this stage, it's totally vegetarian. So yeah, peach palm chowder. Absolutely delicious. Alright, so that's cooled for like maybe a half an hour now, and like, look at that. That's a proper chowder. That's a proper chowder. Not starchy, far more like a roux. But yeah, it's just coconut milk, peach palm, and a little bit of, what would you call that? What's the French for that? Mise en place, or celery and onion. No carrots, but peppers and spices and all that. But look at that. Look at that. Thick. Awesome.